Never in a million years have I ever felt as vulnerable and helpless, insecure, and sad as I was when the Department of Children and Family Services removed my child from our home for perceived allegations which were untrue. And then 5 months later, my child is removed from me. I didn't know what to do. I was stabbed in the heart, picked up the phone book, found the biggest ad, saw the law offices of Vincent W. Davis, and I called. And I immediately felt very comfortable. Gave me my options, told me what I could and could not do. And then I met Vincent Davis, and I was so impressed.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to my CPS office hours. I'm Attorney Vince Davis, and today I want to do something a little different. I want to tell you the truth behind what it really means to be in a CPS case. Not the legal stuff, not the legal jargon, not the court, not the codes, not the law, but the raw reality that I have seen over the past 3+ decades. The fear, the injustice, the fight. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the full emotional journey of a CPS case and what you can do to survive it, to beat it, and to protect yourself and your family. If this hits home, please consider donating to our channel. Your support helps us help to continue reaching families who have no voice. Let's begin. Segment 1, the knock on the door. The moment CPS arrives, it can be terrifying to most parents. Most parents freeze, they panic, and they go into explanation mode. They talk to social workers when they shouldn't be talking without their lawyer. CPS agents document everything. Everything you say will be used against you. Many times, CPS agents are accompanied by police officers. Everything that you say will and can be used against you. This is how most people feel. Why are they here? What do I say? And they just start saying anything and everything they believe is going to help them. Now, this is what you should do. And it's easier said than done. I realize this. Don't panic. Don't invite them into your home unless they show you a warrant signed by a judge or a judicial officer. Ask them, do you have a court order or is this voluntary? My opinion is don't let them in unless they have a court order. Segment 2. The investigation feels like an interrogation. CPS may visit your child's school without you knowing. They may talk to your neighbors without you knowing. They may talk to the doctors of the children without you knowing. You don't know what's being said. The power of imbalance is just massive. Here's my tip. Treat this investigation like it's a criminal investigation. Document everything, and please hire counsel or at least consult with an attorney. Imagine waking up every day wondering if your child is safe in someone else's home. That's the reality of most of my clients when their children get taken away and put in foster homes. Segment 3. Court isn't about the truth, it's about evidence. I often say the courtroom is a false reality. Think about that. The courtroom is a false reality. Parents think, this is America. If I just tell the truth, the judge will understand and my children will be given back to me. But dependency court is evidence driven, not emotionally driven. What is evidence? What is admissible evidence? What is non-admissible evidence? Admissible evidence isn't always what you think it is. Social worker reports are often trusted over parents' testimony. Talk to a lawyer. Develop a plan. Implement your strategy. Prepare declarations from witnesses, from family members, from character witnesses. Collect your exhibits. Speak through your attorney. Let your attorney do the talking for you. Segment 4. Your visitation with your child is a performance. Every word, every look and hug is monitored, evaluated, and reported on by CPS. Your parenting is being evaluated like it's a test. If you do anything wrong, it will be reported and used against you. If you do anything right, well, maybe it will be reported and the judge will be told. Missing one visit can be used against you. I have seen people not get their children back because they've missed too many visitation. They did everything else, but they missed too many visitation. What do you do for visitation? Be early to the visitation. Be prepared for the visitation. Bring toys, snacks, clothes. I've seen people bring, their iPad or their phones and they watch videos together. Be joyful and pleasant to everyone. Let me repeat that. Be joyful and pleasant to everyone, including the social workers. My grandmother who raised me used to tell me, you get more bees with honey. And I didn't understand that until I was about 45 years old. Think about it. Imagine being allowed to see your child 2 hours a week. Imagine being told when you can hug them. That's what most of my clients live with. I want to invite viewers to share their stories in the chat. I want you viewers to comment where they're from and how CPS has affected them. And I want to invite you that if you are being affected by CPS and if this helps you or these videos help you in any way, please help us by making a donation. Please help us keep this channel alive for you and for other parents in your situation. Segment 5, the case plan trap. Case plans sound like help, but are really compliance tests. They are often vague, unreasonable, and stacked with services. Most people have jobs and other responsibilities. Case plans interfere with those responsibilities and those employment responsibilities. Speak to your attorney to make sure that you're still able to comply, even though you have employment responsibilities, even though you have other familial responsibilities. Talk to your lawyer. Make sure that the vagueness and the unreasonable stacks of services that you understand and how your attorney can help you understand and how you can get through those services. If you miss one session, CPS will document it and it will be used against you when it comes time to get your children back. The tips that I have for you are start services early. Request logs, progress reports, certificates when you complete these services. And ask for realistic scheduling so that if it does interfere with your job, that you don't lose your job because of your services that have been court ordered. All right, segment number 6, dealing with the pain of separation from your child. Parents experience grief, depression, anxiety, and shame being separated from their child. Children experience confusion and emotional trauma. CPS claims to protect, but many children are hurt by the removal. And it's something that I don't think we as lawyers for children and parents, and perhaps even court officers and judicial officers, pay attention to as much as we should. Imagine you're a child and you're taken away from your parents and you're placed in a foster home, a stranger's home. We can put any spin we want on it and say and report, oh, the child's doing fine. But is that really the truth? This is a quote from a lot of parents that I represent. Mr. Davis, I cry every night for days, weeks, months at a time. My house is silent. I don't know who I was without my children. Segment 7, the turning point. Unfortunately, a lot of parents give up. Others decide to fight. My advice is never, ever give up. I don't know who it was in World War II, Winston Churchill. Never, ever stop fighting. Never, ever give up. So here's some steps to start fighting back. Make sure you hire the right lawyer. And if you can't hire a private lawyer, please work with your court-appointed attorney, no matter what you think of him or her. He's the only or she's the only attorney that you have. You're going to have to make do. Learn about your court case and your court calendar. Knowledge is power. Create a documentation binder or notebook. Track everything, especially your reunification services and your progress in what you've learned. I have a video on how to track your reunification services on YouTube. Please take care and watch that video. Request copies of every report the social worker prepares and files with the court. Request copies of all the minute orders. You are not a number, you are a parent. Your love is not a liability. It is your fuel in this case. All right, segment 8. Reunification is a battle, but it is possible. You can get your children back. It takes preparation, discipline, and legal strategy. Some of my clients reunify anywhere from 60 to 90 to 6 months or longer. But they do it. What works? Completing the services early, showing progress monthly, documenting your progress to your lawyer, to the social worker. Yes, in writing, emails, texts. Have a support team, an emotional support team. We celebrate every family that reunites. It reminds us why we fight CPS. Segment 9. Beyond reunification, holding CPS accountable. Yes, you can sue CPS. It's hard, but it's possible. You can file a civil rights claim under 42 U.S.C. 1983 for violation of your constitutional rights. You can seek damages for illegal removals. Gather your paperwork. It must be timely, and gather your witnesses and speak to an experienced civil rights attorney. Don't try to do it yourself. I think I mentioned this on a show earlier this week. I have a client or no, he wasn't a client, but I spoke to him many times and I tried to help him. He filed a civil rights lawsuit on his own behalf. And unfortunately, it was recently dismissed. Why? Because he felt he could do it himself. He felt like, it's America. I should be able to represent myself. Folks, don't try this. Don't try this at home. Get a lawyer. Segment 10, breaking the silence. Most families never speak out because of the shame of being involved in a CPS case. CPS depends on this isolation. Our community breaks that silence. We put it on social media. Please don't be afraid. If you have any doubts, talk to your lawyer. But I invite you to share this video and other videos that I have. Tell your story. Let people know what CPS really does to families. Inform your congressman, inform your senator, write to your state legislature, write to your county supervisors. Let people know of the injustice. Segment 11. What this channel does. We provide live shows, legal templates, interviews with experts, coaching calls. If this channel has helped you, help us stay alive. Donate today. Every dollar reaches us and helps a family in a crisis. You are not alone. I've seen what CPS can do. I've seen them rip families apart. I've also seen parents take back control. Don't give up. Never give up. Don't wait. Don't do this alone. If you're ready to fight, book a consult. Join me. Call me at the number below, 888-888-6582. I'm Attorney Vince Davis. Stay strong, stay loud, and I'll see you in the fight. All right, before we end the live stream today, I'm going to try to take some comments that have been posted. Let me see. All right, we have Margaret King on YouTube. The mother of the children only appeared twice through the entire process. She hasn't seen the children at all, and it was due to her health. She barely made contact with her attorney. The attorney was actually elated to hear from the mother and going to request Zoom visits with the children due to my daughter being out of the country in the program. She's doing what CPS is asking. All right, great. On YouTube, I love drawing. CPS has assigned a safety plan to determine my daughter was safe to stay at home. Can the sheriff turn around and detain her? That case was dismissed. So shouldn't the CPS case be dismissed as well? No. Unfortunately, criminal cases and CPS cases are totally different. They have different laws and different standards of proof. So just because your criminal case is dismissed doesn't mean that your CPS case will be dismissed either. Okay, Margaret King from YouTube. Given my daughter's scenario, do you think she'll lose her parental right? The father is doing everything and complying with what CPS wants. Margaret, if they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, they should be reporting it to their attorney and to their CPS social worker. And if that's the case, they shouldn't be losing their rights. Okay, I love drawing from YouTube again. They said that the sheriff detained my daughter and not them, which is not true. I can tell by the time on certain documents. Plus, it's not the sheriff's determination, it is CPS's, correct? Well, initially, the sheriff can detain if the sheriff thinks, but in order to hold the child, CPS has to get involved and has to determine whether the child should remain detained. And if the child is detained by the sheriff, the child is turned over to CPS. I love drawing, Merced County. I've talked to you a lot. This is a new development. Okay, very good. From Merced County. I love drawing. I don't know if you know this, but the other poster from YouTube, Margaret, she's also in Merced County. All right. Another comment from Cynthia on YouTube. Good morning, Attorney Davis. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Thank you for being here for us. May your day be covered by his favor to you. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Cynthia goes on to say, yes, I do share with all I can about CPS and the advice you have given us and all I have learned on your channel. I love drawing. Please read. I think I did read that. I love drawing. Okay, Colleen may be on Facebook. Colina on Facebook. Can CPS refuse to bring the child to visits if there is not a court order saying they don't have to? Colina, I in most cases, your visits are court ordered, so CPS can't deny you those visitation. Now, what happens sometimes is the exact date and times are sometimes argued about. And if that's the case, you should get a set schedule. Tell your attorney, take it back to court, get a set schedule so that CPS can't use their discretion and not bring the child to a visit. Right. Cynthia on YouTube says, thank you for fighting for my son. And I thank you so much. I have my parental rights for this wonderful kind of work you have done for us. You're quite welcome, Cynthia. Okay, Colina on Facebook says, I lost the comment. If a parent tells CPS the child is having an intimate relationship with the foster parent's child, and CPS says she is aware and cuts off all contact between child and mother, what can the mother do? Oh, wow. The mother can report this to her attorney, report it to the judge, report it to the supervisor of the social worker, and if you're in California, report it to, or if you even wherever you are, report it to the state organization for CPS. You can report it to the Department of Health and Human Services in Washington, D.C. You can report it to the U.S. Justice Department, Civil Rights Division in your area. And you can also report it to a civil rights attorney who you should talk to about suing the social worker. Okay, Cynthia on YouTube says, always in our prayers, may our Savior Yahshua keep all our sons and daughters good in his hands while he returns them to us. Amen. Colleen on Facebook, mother requested family therapy and CPS said no. Well, Colleen, one of the things that you might want to consider doing is filing, if you're in California, filing what's called a 388 petition to request that family therapy. My rule is if the social worker says no, you have to go to the judge, make a motion or a petition to the judge and ask the judge to order it. CPS, the social worker, is not the be all, end all on every case. They only make recommendations. So if you don't like what the social worker says, it's time to go see the judge and ask the judge to order it. All right, Margaret says on YouTube, although I am the guardian of the 5-year-old child, is reunification still part of the plan or reunification with the parents? Reunification for you is still the plan. And in your case, I think it's also with the parents as well. Okay. All right. I don't see any more questions. I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you have any other questions, give me a call at 888-888-6582. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Stay safe. Wait a minute. We have one last question. VJ from YouTube. CPS has violated court ordered visitation times and dates. For over 1.5 years, judge refused to read and address. Now 6 to 8 different judges have been involved over 3 years. VJ, I hope you have been addressing this with your court-appointed or your private attorney, and that you've been filing the appropriate motions and petitions and appealing them if you're not getting any justice. And by appealing them, I mean appealing it to a higher court. All right? And the other thing you can do, if they're continually violating orders, I would maybe suggest you talk to a civil rights attorney. Perhaps it's time for you to get some federal help on this particular case. Alrighty, folks, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time for more office hours.
I went through 9 months of hell in trial, and Vince was fantastic in the courtroom. This is a trial attorney. This is someone that you just go and look pretty and sit there and let him do all the work. And we prevailed. 9 months of not knowing. But when you have Vincent W. Davis on your side, you feel comfortable and at ease because you know he's doing the best he can do for you. And I highly recommend him and his staff, because there was never a time where I couldn't call and say, I need help, or I'm feeling this way. I was always able to talk to someone. Now that I have my child back, God bless you, Vincent W. Davis.